This is the last stop on our Illinois trip here. Union Miners Cemetery. This is the monument of Mother Jones, the great labor leader. It's a memorial for the miners. The Union Miners Cemetery in Mount Olive, Illinois is the only labor union established and union-owned cemetery in the United States. It is the result of the Battle of Verdun, fought in Verdun on October 12, 1898, when the Chicago Verdun Coal Company refused to honor the national wage negotiated by the United Mine Workers Union. An armed struggle broke out that day between miners and company forces attempting to use scabs, non-union strikebreakers. 8 miners, 4 mine guards, and 1 company employee were killed. The bosses capitulated and agreed to the legal wage. 4 of the dead miners were from Mount Olive. But the owner of the privately owned town cemetery did not want dead miners buried there to prevent the cemetery from becoming a miners' shrine. Therefore, the United Mine Workers purchased land in Mount Olive in order to create a dedicated Union cemetery for the dead miners and all miners in the future. In 1932, the cemetery was deeded to the Progressive Miners of America Union. Today, a perpetual care committee tends the cemetery with the help of labor unions from around the country. The cemetery's labor history significance is recognized by inscription on the National Register of Historic Places, 1972. Sponsored by the University of Illinois Mythic Mississippi Project, the City of Mount Olive, the Mother Jones Museum at Mount Olive, the Union Miners Cemetery Board, and the Illinois State Historical Society, October 2021. Let's go in and see what this is. The resting place of real Union people. Very cool. There's a few other cars pulling off to check it out. Beautiful day. Beautiful day for it. These are all miners. That's awesome. This is commie heaven. I mean that in the best way. I want to be buried here amongst my comrades. The hill and boss next to Grandma. That's a pretty good one too. There. Erected by sub-districts 5 and 6, United of America Mine Workers, to the memory of miners killed at the Verdun Massacre, October 12th, 1898. General A. Bradley, man, he got a good one. Here's Mother Jones, May 1st, 1830 to November 30th, 1930. The miner's angel and her boys. The most badass grandma that ever lived. My grandma was pretty badass too. Do not climb on the monument. I guess you can walk up to it and read it though. That's awesome. There she is. Progressive Miners of America. Martyrs of the Progressive Miners of America. Look at all these. A lot of cool things. Let's get that out of there. Cool.
Where are you guys from?
We're from Salem, Missouri. Yeah.
I'm at Springfield.
Okay.
You guys,
Well, we may be
we came
going.
here to pick up my grandkids, and we've never seen this.
Yeah. She's a hero to me. I'm a high school teacher, so I saw, ooh, Mother Jones. I gotta check it out. Pray for the dead and fight like hell for the living. Mother Jones. That's awesome. All nations, all men of power have gone down when wealth was in the hands of a few. I'm no angel, get it straight. I'm not a humanitarian. I'm a hell raiser. She's such a badass. I am an organizer, an agitator, and an aggravator. I act because I love humanity. We must stand together. If we don't, there will be no victory for any one of us. Let me see if I can get this in a way where I'm not in the reflection. Donors to the Mother Jones Memorial. Illinois AFL-CIO, United Mine Workers of America, Department of Commerce and Econ Opportunity, IUOE 150, Chicago Regional Council of Carpenters, Illinois Senator Andy Mayer, Illinois Federation of Teachers. Oh, this is just all the people that dedicated to it. A special request to the miners of Mount Olive, Illinois. When the last call comes for me to take my final rest, will the miners see that I get a resting place in the same clay that shelters the miners who gave up their lives on the hills of Verdun, Illinois, on the morning of October 12th, 1897, for the heroic sacrifice of their fellow men. They are responsible for Illinois being the best organized labor state in America. I hope it will be my consolation when I pass away to feel I sleep under the clay with those brave boys. Mother Jones. Filed in Maricopa Court on January 9th, 1924. I sat alone through nights of grief. In 1897, a yellow fever epidemic swept Memphis. Its victims were mainly among the poor and the workers. The rich and the well-to-do fled the city. The dead surrounded us. All about my house, I could hear weeping and the cries of delirium. One by one, my 4 little children sickened and died. I washed their little bodies and got them ready for burial. My husband caught the fever and died. I sat alone through nights of grief. No one came to me. No one could. What an amazing lady. She went through hell and she decided to dedicate her life to helping other people. There's all the donors to the memorial. I learned in the early part of my career that labor must bear the cross for others' sins, must be the vicarious sufferer for the wrongs that others do. Mother Mary Harris Jones. Don't let me run it for you guys. I just
gonna tell you about, because it talks about the Bird Massacre over
Yeah.
there. You know anything about that?
Not really.
Is your school teacher?
I probably should, yeah. Tell me about it.
That's about 20 miles from where I live. I only know because I read it. I worked in the mines for about a dozen years over at Hillsboro. But out there, it's kind of sad when you read about it. I thought it happened in like 1912, but it says 1890. But there was a strike going on, and they brought a bunch of miners up from down south. And they were all black. Probably didn't even know what they was getting themselves into.
Really?
And them guys, well, there was some miners killed because Pinkerton guards were there too.
Right.
But they shot every one of them guys that got off that train.
Oh my God. Have you ever seen the movie Matewan?
I should know. I've heard of it.
You should watch it. It's right up your alley.
Oh.
Yeah, if you're here, you'll love that movie.
Guys,
Yeah, thank you for telling me that story. I'll have
you
to.
can read about it when you get home.
I definitely will.
Over there, it says dedicated to the. There was some miners killed, but there was more of the black guys.
Right. Well,
They just come up here to work.
that's the way it goes.
No
often,
idea
ain't it? Right.
what was going to happen when they got here.
Right. That's the same thing happens in Matewan. They just heard that we got a job here, and then they were beat up for being scabs, and a lot of them joined the union when they got there.
So anyway, read about this.
Wonderful.
Burton, Illinois is probably about 60, 70 miles.
Okay. You have a great one. Thanks for telling me that. Some of you that watch this channel, you've seen my dad on here. He was in a mining strike in the 80s in Viburnum, Missouri. AMAX, now they'll run. They lost. And my pops was never quite the same. It breaks your heart to lose one. My address is like my shoes, it travels with me. I abide where there is a fight against wrong. You know what? It's the last real thing to read, I think. There's a few things here. Our mission is to manage and maintain the miner cemetery on behalf of those communities, lay to rest those who have worked with dignity and honor to promote strong unions and families and connect guests to the rich labor history that our nation was founded on, especially Mary Harris, Mother Jones, and her work to help children and the working class. Mount Olive. Stop by Mount Olive. Soulsby Shell Service Station, oldest, most original station along the route that has not been completely rebuilt. Opened in 1926. Union Miner Cemetery located between Mount Olive's 266 and the northwest corner of Mount Olive. Preserving and interpreting materials related to the life of Mother Jones is a well-known labor organizer of the early 20th century, located in Mount Olive City Hall. Teamsters. I don't want to strike, but I will. I like it. Did you read that over there about what happened with her kids and why she got in doing what she did?
No, I didn't see that.
It's just that's brutal, man, but so awesome. I mean, not awesome what happened to her, but awesome what she did with it. I'm gonna read this last one, then we'll go. There's a TV there. Isn't that amazing? Reminds me of myself a little bit. Mother Jones remind me we gotta unionize the teachers in Missouri. She's inspiring me. They did it in Illinois. At one time, this is Union Minor Cemetery. At one time, the only Union-owned cemetery in the country, and the fascinating story of why it came to be. Mother Jones was laid to rest here at the Union Minor Cemetery in Mount Olive, Illinois. It offers no miraculous visions or cures, but each one who visits will be touched. And this is the resting place of that grandmother of agitators, Mary Harris Mother Jones, in this place filled with the spirit of good Union men. They are the coal miners she called her boys, among whom she asked to be buried at the time of her death. On April 1st, 1898, the United Mine Workers signed a contract with the Illinois Coal Producers Association. The main points were the 8-hour day and a wage increase. Almost immediately, one producer, the Chicago Verdun Coal Company, decided not to honor this contract. This led to a strike and lockout at Verdun, Illinois. Tensions were rising in the coal fields by summer and early fall. Miners were camped at the Verdun, and the coal company built a stockade around their mine site. Violence exploded on October 12, 1898, with the arrival of a train carrying strikebreakers. The Battle of Verdun was on, resulting in the killing of 8 United Mine workers. 4 of them were from Mount Olive. Mother Jones referred to these 8 as the martyrs and saints of organized labor. The brothers Ellis Smith, Joseph Gitterell, and Ernest Kammerer are buried a few feet in front of the Mother Jones Monument. Ernest Long is buried in Edwardville, and William Harmon from Girard is buried at Kirkland Cemetery in Sorrento, Illinois. Abraham Hale Brenneman from Girard is buried at Girard Cemetery. Frank Bellew from Springfield is buried at Oak Hill Cemetery in Taylorville, Illinois. Ed Walsh from Springfield, Illinois is buried at Springfield Calvary Cemetery. From the Macoupin County Enquirer, 14 October 1898. Today in Springfield, Girard, and Mount Olive, the funerals of the dead miners are being held. In Mount Olive, by order of Mayor Fuchs, every store and business, house, and the public schools are closed. Civic organizations, minor unions, and children of the public schools participated in their funeral procession. 5 mine guards were also killed, but the train did not enter the stockade, and no reports of dead strikebreakers from the bullet-riddled railroad cars. The 3 Mount Olive miners were originally laid to rest in the city cemetery, which was privately owned at the time. The owner objected to these thugs being in his cemetery and evicted them. The other local cemeteries also refused them burial. This resulted in the United Mine Workers buying a plot of ground in 1899 to bury their Union brothers in the only Union-owned cemetery in the United States. The United Mine Workers placed a large gray monument at their gravesite, and it was dedicated October 14th, 1899. This is the stone in the small circle. Just to the east of this monument is the gravesite of General Alexander Bradley. He was instrumental in organizing the miners and supporting the strike at Verdun. He was involved in the march of Coxey's army to Washington, D.C. in 1894. This taught him the importance of solidarity. The UMWA had only about 400 members in Illinois in 1898. It quickly grew to 40,000 after winning the strike. After the Battle of Verdun, the general returned to the mines and worked as a loader and had little interest in Union affairs. After suffering for many years, he died of black lung disease in 1918. The large gray stone just east of the circle was erected by the UMWA in 1918 in his honor. In 1923, Mother Jones wrote a letter to the Macoupin County Circuit Clerk requesting to be buried here when she passed away. She said, "I wish to sleep in the day with those brave boys." She celebrated what she referred to as her 100th birthday on May 1st, 1930. She died on November 30th, 1930 at Silver Springs, Maryland. Her body was brought to Mount Olive by train on the same route that brought the body of President Lincoln to Springfield, Illinois. Her funeral was held at Ascension Catholic Church with a crowd of nearly 30,000 in attendance, and the mine owners gave a big sigh of relief. The Progressive Mine Workers split with the UMWA in 1932, and the ownership of the cemetery passed to the Progressive Mine Workers, and still the only union-owned cemetery. After 6 years of fundraising and legalistic maneuvering as a result of schisms in the PMWA and UMWA, the title was lodged in the PMWA. Leftist infighting, a tale as old as time. The cash raised for the monument was $16,393.25. All the labor was donated. It stands 22 feet high on a 20 by 18 foot base. It is built of 80 tons of pink Minnesota granite. Work was completed by 1936, and Mother Jones was moved to front center. To some of us, this is sacred ground. Dedication was held on October 11th, 1936, with 50,000 brothers and sisters in attendance. The 5 plaques on the front of the monument contain the names of the miners from Mount Olive who gave their lives at the Battle of Verdun, and a plaque for Mother Jones. The plaques on the sides of the monument have the names of the 21 progressive mine workers who lost their lives in internecine warfare between the rival mine unions. This dispute between the rival unions was never settled, and the PMWA dissolved in 1999. So sad. Visit the Mother Jones Museum in Mount Olive City Hall, 215 East Main Street, for more information about the life of Mother Jones. I abide where there is a fight against wrong. Mother Mary Harris Jones. Man, this is so inspiring, man. The class struggle. We got to keep fighting in this country. We got to get along, PMWA. Solidarity. Let me see if I can see any of these guys out front that they talked about. What a lady. Man. Mary Mother Jones. She gave her life to the world of labor, her blessed soul to heaven. God's finger touched, and now she sleeps. These are the other guys. Huh. Wow. I'm getting kind of emotional, man. I hope I can live 1/10 of the life you did. Maybe 1/100th. Whoa, man. What a grandma. The grandma to every communist, socialist, union man and woman in the world over. God bless you, Mother Jones. Rest in peace. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of history there. I'm glad I stopped. If you ever buy this way, I would encourage you to stop, especially if you consider yourself a person of the left, the real left, the kind of left when something tragic like that happens to you, you dedicate your life to helping other people live a better life, the poor and struggling in a land that has endless money for war but can't feed the poor, as the great Tupac said. And I think Mother Jones would have agreed with that. So, God bless you all. Peace, love, solidarity. Thanks for your life, Mother Jones.